Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, bonjour, konnichiwa, hola, ciao. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Ken at 10. How are you today? Do you like the new overlay? Little dog in the corner with the soul board? Hope you do. Hope you're well today. If you haven't been here before, welcome along. Thanks for joining us. My name's Ken. It's 10. And we are James Alexander. We sell and rent and manage properties around southwest London. We're based in an area called Norbury, which is between Streatham and Croydon. We're a zone 3 commuting area. And we talk about property and topical news, whatever's going on, really. And England, what about it? We won. Okay, only 1-0. Not the greatest opposition in the world, but hey, I'm an England fan. I'll take it. I'll take it. Some good performances there as well. My wife will be particularly pleased with Jack Grealish's showing there. And yeah, exciting. Looking forward to the Euros. Really looking forward to that. So I hope you're having a good day today. Here in southwest London, it's kind of slightly breezy, but really warm. It's been a beautiful morning so far. A little bit overcast, but still blue skies. And yeah, busy day ahead for us. Lots of news going on today and a couple of things to show you at the end of the show. We've got a extremely narrow Cornish house that's gone on sale. It's incredibly narrow and the most expensive caravan. Can you guess what the price is? I'll give you a clue. It's in Dorset and it's got views over the Isle of Wight. And I'll show you a picture as well. Let's look at some news generally. This is an interesting one. Mortgage borrowing falls as house prices increase. This is something reported in the Financial Times. What's interesting about this is that we've seen the house prices increase across the UK, and I'll come on to that in a moment. I've got a couple of graphs on that for you, which you might find interesting. But the latest figures of the Bank of England show that mortgage borrowing fell back to 3.3 billion in April amid a sharp rise in house prices. The figure marks a decline from 11.5 billion in March to below the 5.7 billion monthly average in the 6 months to February. Whilst gross lending and repayments surpassed levels at the beginning of 2020. This is interesting. John Cunliffe, who's the Bank of England Deputy Governor, says, I think what we're seeing in the housing market at the moment is mainly being driven by the tax holiday. There are some signs people are making different housing choices, which may affect the future. It's something we're watching very carefully. Well, aren't we all? It is fascinating, isn't it? And we've said many times that there are winners and losers in the pandemic. And it's clear from that many people are taking the opportunity to repay their mortgages. And that's interesting, isn't it, on the back of a pandemic. But there are lots of people out there with savings, lots of people, I know there are losers, and if you're one of them, my heart goes out to you. But there are also lots of winners in the pandemic, people that have been working from home, no commuting bills, perhaps been getting their full salary, and certain industries that have actually thrived. So, yeah, it's interesting to see the trends. Another article, this time from the Daily Mail, but one that we've been saying for a long time, and now it's confirmed, it's official. Government closes the door on permanent stamp duty holiday. We've said for a long, long time that the government are very unlikely to reform stamp duty. Why? Because it's the simplest tax in the world to collect and they want the revenue from it. And the article goes, the government has dismissed calls to reform the stamp duty on buying a home, despite the temporary changes helping to drive the housing market over the past year. In a document published yesterday, it said the tax, which raised 8.4 billion for the public purse in 2019-20, was an important source of revenue at a time needed to replace funds spent during COVID. Sarah Coles, personal finance analyst at Hargreaves Lansdowne, said their response represented the door being firmly closed. And I will echo that. I agree with that. I don't agree with what they're doing. I think that it needs reform desperately, but I don't think they'll do it because it's too easy for them to collect the tax, frankly. MPs on the Treasury Committee had recommended that the stamp duty be reformed after witnesses to its inquiry into tax after coronavirus described it as being not fit for purpose. But the government's response to its inquiry said, quote, stamp duty land tax is an important source of government revenue. It is simple to collect. Yeah, you heard that right. It's simple to collect and administer and helps to pay for the essential services the government provides. We've said that for a long time. It's too easy for the government. It's not going anywhere. Sorry, guys. If you were hoping it would be repealed or extended, this time around, it's not going to happen. As frustrating as I know that is, that's just the reality of it. Now, a couple of things, a couple of charts that came out today that I want to show you on house prices. And the first one is looking at the average UK house prices. And as you can see there, it looks quite dramatic, doesn't it? Look at that. If you were a betting man, you'd wish you'd have got in just there between 19 and 21, wouldn't you? But this is the average UK house price, and it's not universal. When you look at it across the UK, the picture is very, very different. And that's why you've got to be careful about these soundbite house price statistics. You know, houses are doing X, they're doing Y. You can see from that they've gone nuts, can't you, right? But now let's look at the regional trends. Look at house price inflation by postal area. You look at London down here, and you see that actually house price inflation there is quite low. The grey areas, by the way, if you can see that on the page, but the grey areas represent below 3% growth, and the darker areas represent the greater growth. So you can see there that Devon and Cornwall have done very well. And you can see there lots of regions north of London have done very well too. And it's a mixed bag as you go further up. But very interesting to see how the regional trends differ so greatly. And that represents the exodus from London to other parts of the UK, inspired by the pandemic and the Zoom nation. You know, it's changed everything, hasn't it? But fascinating to see in a kind of a colour sheet there exactly how it's changed things. Now, a couple of other headlines that caught my eye. A Dorset caravan on sale for nearly £700,000. Can you believe that? £700,000. Let's have a look at it, shall we? Do you want to see the view? You've got to see the view, haven't you? Here we go. Gorgeous view. You would like to wake up in the morning to that for your breakfast, wouldn't you? Mind you, in the UK, that's going to be pretty cold in the winter. You're going to want those doors firmly closed, aren't you? It's a 2-bedroom static caravan located in the Sandhills Holiday Village in Dorset. And it's on sale for almost £700,000, with Paul Craven of My Holiday Caravan commenting, the price is certainly exceptional. Yeah, it certainly is. You get a house here for that in London. But so too is the Holiday Lodge itself, with its stunning views across the ocean to the Isle of Wight. A caravan for £700,000. Who knew? Wow. And then let's talk about other ridiculousness. We've now got a narrow Cornwall home, which is on sale, and it is teeny. This one, you want to look? Yeah, let's have a look, shall we? Okay, this is a property narrower than a London bus, and it's located in the Cornish town of Padstow, very popular town, and that's gone on sale for £429,995. It is teeny. The Rightmove advert for the house states, superbly presented and delightful. This iconic cottage offers modern conveniences without taking the charm and period features away. These include beamed ceilings and deep windowsills, echo heating, and a sunny courtyard. Can't be much of a courtyard with that width, can it? So yeah, that's it for today. Apart from that, as far as the market's concerned, we now have 28 days remaining before the stamp duty deadline. That is the June one. There is a second one in September, which results in a saving of £2,500, but that feels all too insignificant here in London, where the saving up for grabs before then is £15,000. And we're doing our best to get all of our vendors over that line and all of our purchasers over that line. And frankly, it's a struggle, but it's a challenge we're taking on, doing our best to get there for you. And, you know, I think now, if you're looking at properties to buy, the only way you're going to meet that deadline, if you find now, is if you're a cash buyer and probably buying freehold. And even then, remember, it's not just about how simple it is for you. It's about finding a conveyancer or solicitor that can actually handle more work right now, because believe you me, they are all absolutely snowed under. A few good valuations today right across the board as well. Looking forward to those. And apart from that, we'll be back at the same time tomorrow. Hope you have a fantastic day. Look after your family and friends, and we will see you then.